They're actually at a 6-year low, and if we take a look at Ford shares over 10 years, you got to go back to 2009 to find the last time that this stock was hovering at $9.25 a share. In fact, we're just pennies away it breaking through that 9-year low and going back to levels we last saw in 2009. The big question that's hovering over this stock, what's the game plan in terms of turning around this company for CEO Jim Hackett? He's been on the job more than a year, but we rarely hear from him. We've only heard from him a couple of times. Analysts have only heard from him a few times. What's the turnaround plan? Will Ford exit major markets? The most likely possibilities that people think would happen: exiting Europe, exiting South America. Will they cut 10 to 15% of the workforce, which is another expectation that's been floating around on Wall Street? And what's going on with the autonomous vehicle strategy? They're investing heavily in it with Argo AI and in other areas. But when you talk with analysts, they make it very clear they're not really sure what's to expect from Ford.
What worries us is on the equity side, there isn't a whole lot to be excited about. Even if they hit their target of 8% overall margin, you're only talking about earnings power of $2 to $2.25 a share off of what's probably a much smaller revenue base, which they need to do. They need to get out of lower performing markets. It's just something that doesn't excite us on the equity side.
Few are excited and few know what to expect from Ford. President Trump yesterday, I know you guys talked about this last hour, he sent out this tweet: Ford has abruptly killed a plan to sell a Chinese-made small vehicle in the U.S. because of the prospect of higher U.S. tariffs. He cites us, and this was widely reported more than a week ago. This is just the beginning. This car can now be built in the USA, and Ford will pay no tariffs. Okay, the first part of that tweet, that's accurate. That's correct. Ford did decide to stop plans to build the Focus Active in China and then import it here to the United States. The second part, the suggestion that Ford will build it in the United States, that's not happening. Ford has made it clear that they're just not going to sell this vehicle in the United States. Look, the market's not there for small vehicles. So if it turned around and maybe there was a market there, then maybe Ford could build it in the United States and not pay any tariffs. But that is not in the game plan, guys. They are not building that vehicle and selling it here in the United States.
Feel bad.
It's going to be in overseas
They're not even
markets.
selling sedans anymore.
Right. I feel bad for Ford. It's like, God, our lineup sucks so badly. We aren't going to sell any more than about 100,000 of these things, so we can't possibly make them here and make money on them because no one's buying our cars. I mean, that's sort of what they're saying, isn't it, Phil?
Yes, but Ford's not alone in terms of selling cars. You know, it's everybody. I mean, quickly we are seeing all of the automakers say, why build it here? Because it's very low profit, anyway. Generally speaking, sedans. Yeah, and people aren't buying them.
Well, as long as gas prices stay low, that equation could change if gas prices run up to $4 a gallon or more.
Can't believe Ford's back to 9.
That's the concern that you have. Some people have that concern that gas prices suddenly spike, and people say, wait a second, back like in 2007 and 2008.
Ford is back to 9. That's unbelievable. Oh, there it is at the bottom. It's a 9-year low.
What happens in terms of where the blame gets placed on this? I mean, are people missing Mark Fields at any point?
Mullally.
No, this started under Mark Fields, so this is not like Mark Fields skates free here. The big concern that Wall Street has is that Jim Hackett has said, we need to transform this company. Great. Nobody's arguing with that. Transform the company. Give them an idea on what a plan is. Remember, they had an analyst meeting scheduled for early September. They scrapped it. And they said, we're not ready yet. We do know that we're going to be spending about $11 billion to transform the company. And yet you still have everybody on Wall Street saying, what are you going to do with autonomous vehicles? How much are you going to spend there? How are you going to make money on autonomous vehicles? Because you're investing heavily in that area. And guys, there's very few in the auto industry who have a clear blueprint for how they expect to make money when it comes to autonomous vehicles in the future.
Hackett needs to go on the Joe Rogan show. Expand his mind, you know, get some new ideas, open up the vistas, get the...
Hackett's already got a reputation for being cerebral.
He does?
You know, somehow I'm not sure that Jim Hackett is the key demographic
Might not be,
that they're looking for.
Anything else happening with that? You know what? Is there anything that would surprise you now when you come in the morning that you'll have to talk about in any context? I mean, that was something last week, wasn't it? No.
I do know this.
Yeah.
You find out what my schedule is, and anytime I'm scheduled to be on vacation, that's when Elon Musk makes news. There's nothing like being on vacation and
you must have been watching
the early morning tweets and emails.